If you believe that the story of the greatest champion in horse racing history was over decades ago, think again.
Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat.
Triple Crown legend Secretariat has been reborn as art. 3,800 pounds of bronze over steel, meticulously researched and crafted by renowned artist Jocelyn Russell over the course of nearly 2 years.
The whole project, to me, represented this strength, and his anatomy was unique in that he was so perfect in so many ways. It's hard to freeze frame them when they're running to get the muscles in motion, but I have a lot of reference to work with.
To capture Secretariat's spirit and power, Jocelyn knew she had to sculpt him in full sprint, which meant that 2 of his legs would be off the ground.
He's hollow, and he has a stainless steel armature that goes all the way up through his body, so he's very stable on 2 legs, which is kind of precarious for a monument of that size, but he's very stable.
Jocelyn's first casting of Big Red, as Secretariat was affectionately known, can be found in Kentucky horse country, Lexington, just east of the Kentucky Derby in Louisville. But in spring 2023, Jocelyn's custom second casting of the statue traveled almost 1,300 miles across the country for a preview in his new home.
Can't believe it's here after all this.
Ashland, Virginia.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kate Chinnery Tweedy.
Resident Kate Chinnery Tweedy was a driving force behind the statue's creation and its journey to Ashland.
His bloodline continues to be very strong.
Secretariat holds a special place in her heart. Kate is the daughter of Penny Chinnery, the legendary owner of Big Red. Kate wasn't sure what kind of reaction people would have to a statue of a horse more often associated with Kentucky than Virginia.
Well, some of them were going, horses are nice, but Secretariat, why here? And it didn't take long to give them the background. We have deep ties here in Ashland. My granddad grew up here.
Kate's grandfather, Christopher Chinnery, was not only raised in the town of Ashland, he and his brothers attended Randolph-Macon College.
We would go to Cross Brothers, my grandmother and I, for to pick up the roast for a Sunday dinner, and I just have all these great memories. We went to Squash-a-Penny, and right by the tracks as a kid.
The Ashland Museum features the Chinnery family's history in the region.
This is about the house that he grew up in on Racecourse in Duncan, which still stands. A little bit about the history and the family as they grew up in Ashland.
After making his fortune in New York, Mr. Chinnery, an avid horseman, returned to Virginia in 1936 to reclaim the dilapidated family farm just north of Ashland. Chinnery threw everything he had into Meadow Stable, as the farm was known, creating a premier thoroughbred breeding program over the next few decades.
This region is really essential to the Secretariat story because without the good grasses, without the rich minerals from the spring water that Granddad pumped into all the pastures, without the very careful care of the grooms who took care of him, who were really good horsemen, all these factors came together.
In the late 1960s, Penny Chinnery took over Meadow Stable from her ailing father, stunning the male-dominated world of horse racing. Penny was determined to continue Mr. Chinnery's visionary and successful breeding program, which ironically focused on girl power.
At the time, most breeders focused on the stallion, and it was all about, who's the stallion. Granddad knew that it was an equal proposition, so he focused on great mares, and his top mares are still considered some of the greatest mares in 20th century racing history.
Many racing stars, studs, and mares were born and raised at Meadow Stable. But on March 30, 1970, the birth of a nearly perfect chestnut foal would forever change the Chinnery family's already notable legacy.
This is a poster reflecting the team that produced Secretariat. my granddad, my mom, the jockey, the trainer. These are the actual trophies, a picture of the 3 trophies of the Triple Crown.
And they're off.
Secretariat surprised the world by not only sweeping the Triple Crown in 1973, but smashing the track speed record in all 3 races. More than half a century later, his records still stand.
I hope on this 50th anniversary of Secretariat's great Triple Crown event, we can end a debate, if there ever was one, about who is the greatest racehorse of all time to go to the Secretariat.
He's into the stretch. Secretariat leads his field by 18 lengths. And now Price of Prince has taken second, and My Gallant has moved down to third.
But it was the Belmont Stakes where Secretariat cemented his place in horse racing history and in the hearts of millions.
It was just steamrolling down the track and running for the joy of it, because once he was that far ahead, it didn't, he wasn't trying to beat anyone. He was just running for joy and to prove to the world, look what I can do.
Not only did Secretariat demolish the track record, he shocked the horse racing world by increasing his speed throughout the entire race. And Belmont is the longest track of the Triple Crown.
But Secretariat is all alone. He's out there almost a 1/16 of a mile away from the rest of the horses.
No one was more surprised than his jockey, Ron Turcotte. These photos of Ron and Secretariat nearing the finish line say it all.
And 2 things are happening there. First, he's wondering why he can't hear anything. Normally a jockey who's in the lead can hear the horses right behind him thundering along. He couldn't hear anything. He didn't know if there'd been an accident. So he's going, where are they? And then the other thing is he's looking at the tote board, and for the first time he sees how fast he's going. He knew he was fast. He had no idea he was that fast.
An amazing, unbelievable performance by this miracle horse. And look at Mrs. Sweetie. She's having the time of her life.
It was just such an incredible moment. And so we replaced the 1A number cloth with 2 for the Belmont. And it's custom for Ashland, which I think is perfect because he was such an amazing horse and did so much for the country, and that Belmont win just capped it.
A group of dedicated volunteers raised the money needed to purchase and install the larger-than-life statue in just 1 year. Under the nonprofit umbrella of the Ashland Museum, by March 2024, the committee was ready to hand over the monument to the town of Ashland.
Now this horse, the purchase of it, for the quality and the cost of all that bronze and everything else, the placement, it's about $750,000. And so that's $750,000 that didn't cost taxpayers a dime.
A significant part of the fundraising effort was for Secretariat to hit the road, visiting all 3 Triple Crown racetracks and other stops along the way. The sheer spectacle of the monument riding the highways on a flatbed, uncovered and strapped down like an oversized motorcycle, took onlookers by surprise and delight.
It was interesting to watch the truck drivers because they are not used to, they're sitting up high and all of a sudden here comes this animal next to them, and I thought we were going to see a few of them hit the ditch.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
On February 7th, 2024, with a sea of enthusiastic supporters looking on, ground broke for the monument at the newly named Reynolds Family Plaza in honor of their contribution.
We have to hope this is Amtrak, because freight trains can take a long time. Train riders are going to see. They're going to come past here and wave at Secretariat.
The prime location along the railroad tracks was leased to the town by Randolph-Macon College for a mere $10 a year.
And this new monument honoring Penny's majestic horse will undoubtedly become one of the town of Ashland's and Randolph-Macon's proudest possessions as well.
Unlike other Secretariat statues around the country, this one would sit directly on the ground without a pedestal. Big Red would be a horse of and among the people.
People can get up next to him and touch him, which is, hopefully they'll feel the power of the horse, because when I was sculpting him, it was hands-on, and I was actually sanding him in the foam and feeling his muscles and rubbing my hands over his great big life and a quarter butt, life and a half. And I'm thinking, what would it have been like to actually touch him? And so to put him in metal and have that be part of other people's experience is really cool.
March 25th, 2024 was a day for another spectacle in the town of Ashland. Secretariat flying through the air to land in his permanent spot on the plaza. Many locals came out to witness the event, including hundreds from around the world, who watched the installation on a live streaming camera belonging to Virtual Railfan, a popular train watching community. The Secretariat for Virginia Committee had one last surprise before the official dedication of the monument.
Everybody's so excited to know that under him is going to be the actual dirt where he made his history.
1, 2, 3. Woohoo! Way to go!
You know, we wanted him to seem as though he was racing. And then we had the cool idea of getting sand from the tracks he raced on. So we have sand from Churchill Downs for the Derby, and from Pimlico for the Preakness, and from Belmont Park.
And from Meadow Stable, where he was born and raised, now the home of Meadow Event Park and the State Fair of Virginia. Five days later, on March 30, 2024, Secretariat's birthday, the parking lot behind the Reynolds Plaza overflowed with people for the official dedication of the monument.
CEO, President, Virginia Tourism Corporation. Yeah! Commonwealth of Virginia! It takes a team to do what we've done.
The statue of Big Red is the first in the state of Virginia.
Today I have to confess, as the mayor of this wonderful town, we are indeed a one-horse town. And what a wonderful horse it is, and now a wonderful monument. And as time goes forth, Jocelyn's beautiful creation, Secretariat racing into history, and now Ashland will join Secretariat in racing into history. And so thankful to be a part of it. Thank you for you being here.
There is no way of knowing how many farms exist and flourish simply because of this horse. This beautiful statue is a gift to us all and helps us keep alive the magic of Secretariat. Thank you, Kate, and the rest of the Secretariat team for bringing Big Red home.
Secretariat is unstoppable. He really is, and people know it. And so you start with a winning subject, you have a good chance at having a nice end product, and I just want to thank you for letting me be part of your lives here, and we all love Virginia. So thank you so much.
When Secretariat passed away in 1989 at 19, his autopsy revealed a genetically large heart, more than double that of a normal horse, and no doubt a driving force behind his stunning victories.
This couldn't have been a better team, and so I think we all need to drink to each other and to Secretariat and to Ashland.
For Kate Chenry Tweedy, the size of Big Red's heart is matched by those who volunteered, donated, embraced, and celebrated the effort to bring Secretariat home to Ashland and the rich rolling meadows of Central Virginia where he was born and raised.